Hey y'all, Justin the Zilla here, and today we're going to be looking at the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Catwoman from Channel 6 targeted exclusive pack here. First of all, great packaging here, has some nice art of April in her werecat form behind the whole corner of Channel 6. They're featuring the Catwoman from Channel 6, Bernie Thompson, Vernon Fenwick, Irma, Langstein, and friends. Nice little art there on the sides here. You got the front of the Channel 6 building. Up here at the top, got your classic Turtles logo. And at the bottom, have the wonderful people who made these figures and nice little barcode. And on the back of the packaging, some nice promo art showing off Vernon, Irma, and Bernie, all in their different looks that are possible here and everything that kind of went on during these episodes, iconic moments, and even a little nice show off of all of your accessories, including your including list there of everything that goes on here. So yeah, finally getting this set open. So let's take a look. Now, before we get into actually looking at figures, do gotta look at the actual box art here from the inner sleeve that covers up there. Has April doing her happy hour news on an old box TV. Got your Turtles logo, got your guys down there, got your background here, more promo art of the figure showing off all you can do and all you can pose and all your little scenarios, even more so, as we can see here in the studios. So very, very cool. And open up our flap here, see all the figures and all their plastic glory with all their plastic goodies, all their accessories. Very, very plentiful, going through every single little thing. And then also a nice little touch having the flooring for the studio. But it is time to open up this set. Now, one last thing before we get into the actual figures, gotta admire the great inner artwork here, showing off the whole studio setup. Definitely a great possibility to use for picture taking and just for general display if anyone wants to have this on your shelf. Probably a very much a possibility. But we're gonna stop babbling about art stuff and get into what is included. So first things we'll be looking at are the two Channel 6 studio cameras. Very, very nice details. We'll set one to a side because you get two of them, but have your Channel 6 logo, have your lens here. Very clean, very simple, but very nice. Have a little panel on the side, have a screen on the front, and a little control panel right there with a few different buttons colored in, or number 6 on the side, but you got all your wiring, you got a lever here, and then even little plug pieces at the end. So that's a nice little touch there, and even little arm pieces here and there, and then 4 little bottom base parts there to help it stand up. But as you can see, top can move up and down a bit very nicely. The lever kind of actually works a bit for it, but I don't think it's really required for it, but kind of functions in its way. And then the bottom one doesn't move at all, so I'm not going to push that even though I am doing it a bit, but very, very cool, nice little detail. Next up, got some more studio equipment, got some lights here. We'll set one to the side. Of course, they're exactly the same, but nice white bright kind of front of it, but nice paneling all around, some black paneling, line work, some details. Nice there, and then some more details there. Another wire that goes to another plug. Still very cool, very nice. Love seeing it. And then 2 little dials there, like actual lights, and then your base that's empty there, and then your light mount does actually move up and down. So if you want to change the position for any pictures or just for angling, but nothing moves on here. Just a static thing besides the very top. Very, very nice. Awesome that they included this. Now moving on to the figures. And first one up is going to be Irma. We can see here they got her down pretty well. We'll get a little up close here. Have the pink square glasses, has the ponytail with the long brown kind of bushy hair. Very cool. Has the light blue sweater, some line detail on the arms, and then dark blue on the back there. Has a little watch on her wrist. Very cool. Has some open hands, and then has her long kind of skirt piece there, all purple And then showing off her, I guess, stockings that are like all white, and then her signature yellow shoes. So very cool. But getting on to her accessories. Now her other accessories. First off, we got her full split out hands. Pretty simple. Nothing really too much to it, but just a little 360. Been moving on. Got the handsome news anchor little portrait here. Nice little thing going on there as I assume a digital render, and then nice little stand there. So if you want to have that displayed or even in a picture as well too, looks very clean, very, very nice. But we'll move on to the more exciting accessories, which is the were-rat version of Irma with the different head sculpt there, with the rat kind of face there with all the details, the long nose, the ears, the teeth, and then the interchangeable arms here that have all the fur. The hair still has the watch. Very nice touch, I guess, but very simple, but very, very cool that you can get this look going. But let's move on from Irma. Now, getting on to the second figure in our set, we got Bernie, April's boss. Very nice to finally have this classic human character. Got super nice sculpt here on the face. Got the classic signature long nose, a screaming head, the hair, the blue tie, little protector there, has the pen in the pocket, has the light blue shading and all that line work detail all around, even on the elbows there. Very cool. Has the belt with the jeans, that cell shading thing going on, but still more line work. Very, very well done, even down to the shoes and even on the inside of the pants there. But nice brown shoes, very, very clean, very cool. So we'll get on to his accessories. And for Bernie's accessories, first we have his alternate head, of course, a little more smug, a little more like, I know what I'm doing. I'm a boss man, but same basic details all around, and has these two split open hands, which we will show off in a second what they will be holding, but very cool, nice little different look you can get there for Bernie. And then for his next accessories, we have his little Tiffany portrait. I forget who Tiffany is, but most exciting one for me is Bernie as a little turtle dude. Love this. Love this. It's so funny. It's so goofy, but it works so well for the cartoon. No articulation around, but just a nice little thing to have. And last thing that Bernie comes with is, of course, a bowl of turtle soup and a spoon. So nice to have an actual thing of turtle soup to come with an actual figure, but we'll move on from Bernie and get to Vernon. Getting on with Vernon now, as you can see, it's what we expected, but just a very classic character. Close up, get that worried face, that dark, sleek back hair. Very, very nice detail there. Has the signature pink shirt with the little bright blue kind of tie there, but has the open collar. Has the suspenders, go around to the belt. Also has his own watch there. Very cool. We'll get a little close up on that. Then has some jeans as well with a little pocket thing. I don't know what that's for, but that's very nice. But some dark and bright blues there. That shading and all that texture work. All those black linings and details. Might even be actual sweatpants. I can't really tell, but nice white shoes with some more white detailing. But we'll get into his accessories. First up for Vernon, we have his alternate head and hands here. Of course, the hands just two open grip hands, very simple. Main thing is Vernon in the red bandana, kind of being like, what's going on? I can't see nothing. But moving on to his next accessories, got Vernon as a turtle too. Crazy, giant, long shell there, but love his little smiley little face he's making there. Very, very funny, very goofy. And then little just details there, here and there. Too much, not too complicated, but very, very fun, very goofy. Getting a lot of little paint flakes on me, though. So, yeah, just love this little goofy guy. But next up, we'll be looking at his other accessories. Got the whole microphone setup here. Has the headphones with the mic on there to communicate over. Then has the whole boom mic arm there and the actual microphone boom that has a cable that connects to the bag around there. Very nice. I assume that's for the tape, and then goes around his body there. So he's ready to run around or be on set and record some news. But let's move on to our last figure. Now, the last figure we'll be looking at our set is the Catwoman of Channel 6 herself, April O'Neil. Got her kind of werecat face with the signature red hair, but has the cat features with the nose, the ears, the mouth, but has your signature April costume with the yellow jumpsuit, but has the collar on there as well. Has some cat claws, a little darker skin tone, with it being a more furry kind of texture, but not really showing off there. Some flakes there, but your classic April suit there. Even has the white belt around it. This little tech thing here, but then has a articulated tail, which is very nice. So very, very cool. That's a part of it. And then even still down to the legs there, just your basic April details. I believe this uses the older April figure, but still works pretty well. Has the white signature boots as well. Well, we will get on to her accessories. For April's accessories, we have a little wind-up mouse toy first here. Very cute little detail here. Has a little winder thing. Of course, doesn't actually wind up, but has little wheels for feet instead of actual feet. Has a little signature tail, the little white nose. Very fun. But main thing, got her. I assume her pet cat. This orange little cat here. Very cute. Very nice. Head sculpt does move there. The head is on a ball, and then as well as the tail can just rotate around. Nothing at the legs, but very basic. All orange, but has some kind of palish, kind of yellow kind of thing to the belly and the face, but then just your static feet there, but very cute little accessory to add. And last thing, not very exciting, but just have a little rotary phone there. Has your wire, can even come off of the actual base there. Has little holes there. Very classic phone. Again, not the most exciting thing to end on, but just a nice detail and a good thing for her to, if you want to add to your setup or add to regular April. But that's it for accessories. We'll go on to comparisons. So for our first comparisons, we'll be looking at the Catwoman from Channel 6 with our regular Ultimate April O'Neil. So overall, basically the same, but of course with this April on the right here, updated a little bit more. Even has a different kind of device thing on the back, which is pretty cool, and different kind of shading and yellow tones there, and a different upper torso, but very unique. Looks very cool, and they work well together. So we'll move on to our other comparisons. And continuing with April and the rest of the crew, we got her with Vernon. Pretty standard here, nothing too complicated. Then we got April with the boss Bernie. Pretty basic again, but makes sense. You want to show off all your variety of characters. And finally, we'll have April along with Irma, the two besties, the kind of main two female human duo, but look great. And we'll get into the other comparisons. Next up with Vernon, we'll get our regular Casey that came in the 2-pack. That actually has the Suda Casey head sculpt, but pretty standard, just dudes there. Then next we'll have Bernie with the Suda Casey. Pretty standard, pretty unique, but got Bernie bossing around, be like, get back to work. Casey's like, yes sir, I guess. But moving on to more mutants that we'll be comparing them to. Got April and her Catwoman of Channel 6 with Leo. Got Irma with Donatello. Kind of makes sense with this kind of duo here. Very, very cool. Then, of course, got to get the two hotheads of Bernie and Raphael together. Worked pretty well, pretty standard. Getting our turtles going along. And, of course, we got Vernon with Mikey. Of course, no really character correlations here, but just a fun little thing to get all my turtles in. Next, we got our fully mutated rat version of Irma with Splinter. Of course, gotta get in the Master in there, but very unique. Not very too crazy here, but makes sense. Then with April, got her with Rasputin to represent the Punk Frogs. And one last one with April and another mutant. We got Bebop, just to kind of round up out with our good and bad guys of mutants all around here. And finally, for comparisons, we got April and Irma in their fully mutated forms, looking great together. But we'll get our final thoughts on these awesome figures. So overall, this is a very solid set, a very nice, unique set of characters that we have gotten here from NECA. Definitely like Irma a lot with the added on mutated parts. Bernie is very nice to have, the boss and the crew, and then Vernon to have it all out. And then April's just a nice little bonus to have the whole thing going. So yeah, I shall see y'all hopefully sooner than later on another video. So be sure, like the video, comment what you want to see here on the channel, and of course, if anything, subscribe. Appreciate it. I will see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.